Denim-wrapped nightmares, what is happening? First of all, shout out and thank you for your support. And secondly, I want to tell the people about Public Domain, their next favorite adult animated sitcom that you're going to love more than any animated show you've ever seen before, because you've already seen these characters before. These characters exist in a world where they've passed up their copyright, and now they're free to use for me in the public domain, and we're going to do it, and we're going to voice them by a bunch of supernatural characters, and it's going to be your favorite show. Now, we need your help to make this show because we can't do it by ourselves, and the executives are sitting on their asses, so go to our Indiegogo campaign. You'll find it down here, over there, or up there. I'm not really sure. It will be somewhere. Check it out. Donate a little bit, donate a lot. We got some great Christmas perks, including a naughty Santa card of me that involves, well, naughty things. So check us out, support us if you can. If you can't support us, thanks. Share us, like us, subscribe us, all the things that make online campaigns successful so you can have the next greatest adult animated TV show.
Welcome to Denim-wrapped Nightmares, Tipsy Exchange podcast, where we explore the supernatural series, episode by episode.
Over drinks, we'll discuss the lore, the gore, and what we adore about the Winchesters and their adventures.
I'm Berly, and I'm a new fan of the series.
I'm LA, and I'm here along for the ride. Now let's get tipsy.
Hello, LA.
Hey, Berly. On the last episode, it was titled The Slice Girls. Sam and Dean investigated a case where the victim's hands and feet had been severed, and they were each branded with a strange symbol. It's a big symbol.
Mm-hmm.
While Sam does some research at a local university, Dean heads to one of his favorite places to investigate the town bar. While he's there, he strikes up a conversation with a local named Lydia, and the two go back to her place. Sam discovers that the symbol on the bodies is a sign of Amazon warriors.
We got a few corrections on our last episode. First, that was not the Impala.
Oh, okay.
We were incorrect about that.
Okay.
Which makes me happy because we were both like, what the fuck? Like, it's just back.
Right? Yeah, I need a little context there.
Yeah, so good to know. Good to know. I was also told that they didn't know if the ritualistic ceremony of the little girls eating something with milk, if that was from the dads or if that was the placenta of the mother.
Oh.
Like, either way.
Yeah.
Doing that with milk? Gross. Today's episode is titled Plucky Pennywhistle's Magical Menagerie. It's the 14th episode of season 7. Jesus.
Sorry about that.
Did you really like that voice I put on or something? What happened over there?
I got excited. I was like, who's this?
It aired on February 10th, 2012. The beginning of the episode, to me, was very reminiscent of the beginning of Yellow Fever.
Yeah.
With Dean running around the corner and like, oh, God, I was going to kill you. And just this little puppy coming along. But because of the flashback in the then segment, I kind of knew it was going to be clowns.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever it was Sam running around and just the panicked, if you can bleed, you can kill it, and just freaking out. I loved his facial expression.
He was so scared.
It was so cute. That was the best scared big puppy eye look. I mean, it was so fun.
I mean, that clown was pretty fucking creepy.
Yeah, they were both of them. Both of them were pretty fucking creepy. I've always thought it's weird that white is the chosen color, because I feel like if your eyes are the slightest bit red, it just makes them look that much more discolored.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with your teeth. Like, I've always thought that's weird. Like, why white?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that probably makes the other colors pop a little bit more, but
Which
anyway.
I feel like adds to the creepy factor.
Yes. So creepy. So Sam's getting chased by clowns. He is a running and he barricades himself in like a garage of some sort, but that don't stop them.
Yeah. What, he put that big lock on the door, then shoved some stuff in front of it.
Yeah.
And the clown just busted through like it was nothing.
Yeah. Just pushing the door like, hey. Sam is terrified. Then we cut to Sam and Dean. They're in a parking lot. Dean is going to talk on the payphone, and we get this weird countdown clock.
Yeah, I still don't understand why.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess they're just trying something new.
I've never seen 24, but I know that's something that they do.
Yeah.
During 24. I'm just like, how is this episode parallel 24 at all, other than that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because normally whenever they do this and then cut back, it'll be like 2 days earlier or 48 hours earlier. And that's it. But for this one, there was like this countdown clock the whole time. And it was in like that analog font that they've never done it before. So I was kind of like, that was an interesting choice.
Yeah.
To decide, let's switch it up here specifically with this thing. Where was I? Oh, yeah, they're in a parking lot. And Sam is on, no, not Sam. Dean is on the phone talking to Frank. Sweet Frank. And he has found out that Fred Savage is a Leviathan. That's the big breaking news.
Yeah.
And Dean was like, if you could get some intel on the actual Dick Roman, that would be great. So Dean, he's still on that dick.
Oh, yeah. I like when he came out that, what did Sam said? What? We got dick on dick?
Yeah. Yeah. If only. We also find out the Amazons, they're out of there. Sam and Dean were trying to chase them down, and they were just like, nope, no trace. They're gone. Gone, hopefully forever. Hopefully to never be heard from again. Sam says, but there is something going on in Kansas.
Wichita.
Yeah, let's go check it out. I liked when they were walking back to the car, and Dean was all saying, like, okay, no women. As long as there's no women in this case, no monster babies, nothing like that. And Sam was just like, really? And he was like, really? Like, you deal with your monster baby coming to try and take you. You tell me if you're ready to, like, get right back out there. It's pretty funny because he takes that back pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So they go and talk to the coroner to examine this body. And I was not ready. I was not ready. It was so gross. The coroner pulls back the sheet, and this guy just has all these like suction cup welts all over his face, all over his chest and
all
shoulders.
Sizes.
Yeah, and then wrapped around his stomach as well. And it turns out it was a giant Pacific octopus, is what this coroner could guess based off of the suction cup sizes and diameter and yada, 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 yada. Which really weird for one of those to be in Kansas. Don't get a lot of those. Sam and Dean also notice there's like a massive chunk missing from his neck.
Oh, yeah. And
they said it looked suspiciously like a vampire bite. So what the fuck is going on? We got a vampire octopus running amok in Kansas.
And then the guy said that he was killed from the bite and bleeding out. So, I mean, 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Know?
I think he said he drained him dry, right?
Something like that.
I was like, damn. So they're like, you know what? We should go talk to the wife. And the first thing they say is like, did you notice any smells?
Any cold spots?
Any cold spots? Anything strange about the house?
She's very confused.
Yes, she was very confused. But I like that they're doing a lot of stuff that happened like in the earlier seasons right now. I feel like they're kind of doing a lot of callbacks to season 1, season 2. The woman's like, no, but you really want to know something? You should go talk to the nanny, Stacy. Yeah, she was here when he died. Sam and Dean are like, okay. There's a vibe here. It's always the nanny, right?
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not always the nanny. As they're leaving, the camera pans up to the top of the stairs, and we see the little girl, the daughter of the victim. She looks very concerned, very worried.
Clearly eavesdropping.
Yes. And I suspected correctly, clearly knows something. Why else did they show her there? Once they're outside, now Dean is volunteering that he's got the nanny. He's on the nanny.
Of course.
And Sam points out, wait, I thought you said no hot chicks. And Dean was like, we don't know that she's hot. Of course, she's cute as could be.
Oh, yeah.
Loved her hair.
Mm-hmm.
Sam goes back to the hotel first, which I could not figure out the theme with this hotel.
Yeah.
Those big lights and like the stone looking wall and then like the tapestries on the wall.
Well, I don't know if it was the door he was sitting in front of at one point, but it looked like it was like almost little hula people.
Right. I was trying to figure out, is this supposed to be the same hotel room? Because whenever it shows Sam and Dean talking on the phone, it had like those crazy lights and that's the stone wall and that's where they had like the tapestries. But then later in the show, it looked like that couldn't have possibly been the same room whenever it showed them sitting at the table. Was it?
I don't know. Probably not.
I need to see the whole room.
Yeah.
I wish that they would do like show and tell for the hotel rooms. Surely they took pictures.
Yeah.
Jerry Wannick, I want to see show and tell of the hotel rooms. They aren't covered enough in the behind the scenes featurettes and stuff. I liked the hotel rooms. But yeah, I couldn't place. Maybe it supposed to be like Aztec?
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. If you know what the theme was for the hotel rooms, let me know, because I could not place it at all. But those lights were new. I didn't see a partition wall, but those big ass lights, those were new. I wonder where they got those and decided to play with those and be like, oh, hotel room. That's where these belong. So Dean is talking with the nanny, and same thing. Like, did you notice anything weird the night that all this went down? And she tells him that they had gone to Plucky Pennywhistle's magical menagerie for the little girl's birthday party, that the mom was out of town, and so it was just the dad there, and that he basically bailed on his own daughter's birthday party to go home and do some work, like just left the nanny there with her.
Not cool.
Not cool. So the daughter was clearly disappointed. So that was something that happened. And she said that the reason she was back at the house when the husband was there is not because anything's going on between her and the dad. It's because the dad was working and she was there trying to console the daughter, who was super upset. She also tells Dean that the girl is really scared of a monster that she believes lives in her closet. Dean then calls Sam and tells him that they were talking to the wrong person back at the Harper house. He shouldn't be talking to the widow. He should be talking to the daughter. So Sam goes back to talk to her. Sam looked good in this episode.
He did.
He looked
The
real
hair was good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The angles of him when he was talking to this little girl, I was just like, oh, look, he's as big as that tree.
I'd say get down here on the sidewalk with me.
Right? I was like, it's really a shame that he's talking to like a child right now. That is not what I'm wanting to see in this scene right now. Tell her to get out of here. Get out of here. Take your chalk and scram, kid. She is very clearly drawing a giant octopus when he comes walking up, but he does not notice it yet. And she is explaining that she feels terrible because it was the monster in her closet that killed her dad, but that she can't tell him this because her mom will be upset. And sure enough, her mom comes to the door and is like, oh, get away from him. Don't talk to him. Get in here. Rushes her away. Then he notices the giant octopus with like the giant teeth, vampire looking mouth. And then he's like, uh-oh. Mental note. Then we cut to a gentleman just running through a forest in his pajamas. I don't think he had shoes on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just running and running and running for dear life. And we keep cutting to like horse feet.
After him.
He jumps a fence with a wooden sign, like what you see at a baseball field or something. And he gets on the other side and he listens and he does not hear the hooves anymore. So he just takes a deep breath and relaxes and leans up against the fence. Wrong move.
Oh, yeah.
It was not the right move. He is suddenly penetrated from behind. It's not what y'all think. It wasn't pleasant. This wasn't good. This was like through the chest. I didn't see it coming. I like screamed. It startled me. Had no idea what it was at first. He falls down on the ground and you see this massive hole in the fence, and we go through and we see that it was a unicorn.
Beautiful.
It was so gorgeous. Its horn like does this little sparkle thing. And then it like does a little, and it's just like, you could tell it was like, job done.
Yeah.
I did good. And then it goes galloping back into the forest with like a rainbow dragging behind its butt.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious. I totally thought it was going to be tulpas or something like that again, which I guess maybe it kind of was, but according to the lore, it's not quite the same thing. I still don't know that we really found out exactly what it is.
Yeah, I was, as we've been talking, I'm like, wait a minute.
They never really explained very well what it was, other than like fear has power. And so I'm curious, who was the little kid that was terrified of the majestical unicorn with rainbows coming out of its ass?
Yeah.
Who was scared of that?
Maybe they're scared of horses in general.
Maybe.
And then the horn just makes it worse.
The rainbow?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that seemed like a majestical, fun little thing.
Right?
Not something that a kid would draw as like a object of fear.
Right.
Anyhow, Dean goes to check out that scene. They don't know what it is. They're like, okay, they figured out the horse because they saw all the hoof prints and everything everywhere. They have no idea what penetrated him. They were like, we just know it was something big. Again, I'm not talking about this like it was a good thing, guys.
No.
It wasn't a good thing. Not this time. Dean goes and talks to the widow again. And he says, shot in the dark, was yesterday your kid's birthday? And the wife's like, no, you dumb motherfucker. Get away from me. And then she says, wait, this might be important. We were at Plucky Pennywhistle's for somebody else's birthday yesterday. Now leave me alone, you handsome old man. This is when Dean calls Sam and tells him, all right, we've got a common thread here between these two cases. Both of the kids were at Plucky Pennywhistle's. Sam is not happy. And this is where he's standing in the hotel room with all the lights that I was talking about earlier. I liked a lot of the angles that were shot in this room. They showed the room pretty well, but not well enough for me to know if that little hula girl wallpaper was in the same room, because I didn't see it in that shot.
Yeah.
I loved it whenever Dean first called. He was like, have you ever heard of Plucky Pennywhistles? Like, you could see the recognition. Jared Padalecki did really great. Did really great with emoting very childlike expressions in this episode, I thought.
He just starts to get panicked even on the phone.
Yeah.
Talking about it.
Like, you can see he clearly knows that name. He clearly knows what chain Dean is talking about. And then he pauses for an awkwardly long amount of time before he goes, no, never heard of it. Turns out Dean used to dump him off there whenever it was just the two of them when they were kids. If he wanted to go off and fool around with a girl or whatever, who knows? He would go and drop Sam off and leave him at a Plucky Pennywhistle's for a couple hours or what have you. So this is not bringing up fond memories for Sam, that he's having to go to this place.
It's like, what was it? The nanny said that it's a place for, what, lazy parents or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Dean was
That's
a lazy parent.
That's what the nanny said, yeah. It's a place. She was like, it's a pizza chain for kids. And then she went for lazy parents, really. It's like, damn.
Jeez.
Oh, and while this episode is going on, it does keep cutting to the present time where we see Sam fighting these clowns. The first fight sequence we see with them, when Sam punches them, you like hear like the honk. The honking, like of like what a nose, the nose, like the squeak toy. It was like a squeak toy when he punches the first one, and then when he kicks the second clown, it's like the honk of like the horn honk. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Honk.
I kept hearing a ding.
Yeah, and they were like doing all these different sound effects, but I didn't feel like they were doing them in the later fight sequences. I wish they would have done that throughout, because I got a kick out of that. I thought that was fucking hilarious. The little sound effects. Oh, I wonder. It was really good. Like, I want to hear it isolated, what all they did during these fight scenes, because that was fucking fun. I loved it.
I like that you said that it was Sam fighting the clowns, because in my notes I put Sam getting beaten by clowns.
I mean, he kind of was. He tried shooting them and nothing happened but like a little glitter burst.
Yeah.
And they were just laughing and having a grand old time, these clowns. They did not give a shit. Back in the present time, after Sam has talked with Dean and Dean's figured out that Sam is freaked out, Dean starts kind of teasing him about, is this about the clown thing? Is this about the clown thing? But Sam does it. He goes. This is where, like, I feel like our pool of suspects were starting to form as to where we were like, who did it? Who did it? And I got to say, the guy who did it was the last one I ended up suspecting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in hindsight, he should have been the first. It's too friendly.
Right.
Too much of a facade seemed to be getting put up there. But Sam does go to Plucky's, and he's looking around, and he is terrified. And our villain clocks this. He notices this right away, supposedly. Sam goes up to the guy at the register, flashes his badge, asks to speak to the manager. And he sees on the wall all these pictures in like this placemat thing that's like says, draw your fear, and Plucky will make it disappear, or something like that. And he notices that Kelly Harper and Billy Pogue, the two kids of the victims that they are investigating, their names are on the wall, but their pictures are gone.
Right.
Everybody else's pictures are still up there. These are the only two missing. Suspicious. Suspicious. The shift manager comes out and explains it's like some child psychology thing about facing your fears, and she thinks it's hooey, but the restaurant is all about helping children with their development. Just kind of explains it away. He also finds out from this shift manager that Billy got embarrassed whenever he was at Plucky's the day before, because his dad threw like a shit fit about needing to get back home or something like that.
Yeah.
But made a big scene about it, and Billy was humiliated. So we've got two kids, both of which were mad at their parents for something that happened at Plucky's.
Being shitty parents.
Lazy and shitty. Yeah. Whenever Sam is about to leave, a janitor, not the janitor, mind you, but a janitor starts acting real shifty and is like, psst, hey, you cop. And Sam's like, yes, I'm a fed. What do you want? And he says, I want to talk to you after hours. And I was like, I get it.
You come back tonight.
You come back later tonight after closing time. But Sam said, okay. Talk to you later. Back at the motel, Sam is telling Dean what he's discovered at Plucky's. And Dean made some joke about their China. Like, he was like, what did he say about Chinatown? Like, something about Chinatown?
Oh, God. What
As he was unpacking their Chinese food. He was awfully proud of himself. And I was like, that wasn't even that clever.
Yeah. God.
I'm pretty sure there was nothing in either of those cartons, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure not.
I'm pretty sure.
Acting. They were acting.
I know. They did really good at acting like they were about to dig into their food, but then just would get interrupted. It was the way one of them sounded whenever he first put it down. I was like, it's empty.
Nah.
It's empty. I can tell that with a lot of the coffee things and shows, too. They're talking about, like, the unicorn must have been what Billy had there, and how those pictures were missing, and that's suspect. And they still have no clue what they're really dealing with, though. They're like, we're going to have to do some research. We don't know. So we cut back to Plucky's. This janitor is leaving for the night. He's like, okay, peace. I'm out of here. But then shift manager Gene is like, no. Someone puked in the ball pit. Needs a full sterilization. Get to work. You get back there and clean up that vomit, and then you can go. He was just like, ugh. So he goes and gets in the ball pit and has like this giant vacuum that he's using to suck everything up. And we can kind of see something else in the ball pit, like moving around. I was like, oh no. Whatever it is, like goes over and nips this janitor's ankle or something. And he's like, oh, fuck. And reaches down and touches it and pulls up his hand and it's covered in blood. I would have immediately gotten out of the ball pit.
Yeah.
But janitor is just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. What was that? I'm really confused. Then he gets pulled under. Now he's like, oh, fuck, and trying to get out for a second. But then he gets pulled back into the ball pit by something. And then he comes up, and we get a tight close-up of his face as he's looking around, panicked, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on here before he's pulled under one final time. And then we get our 56th blood splooge of the Supernatural series as the ball pit splooges all over. And we get blood splattered on the plexiglass window.
Poor janitor.
Bye-bye, janitor. It's okay. There can only be one.
True.
So Sam and Dean get there to go talk with him, but their whistleblower is gone. Police are out front, and they're just like, oh, shit. How'd he die? And they're like, oh, like the ball washer did it. There are weird bite marks on them. And Dean is like, those are bite marks of like a 20-foot shark. He knows this because Shark Week, duh. They go inside and confirm that the picture belonging to Omar Cooper is now gone. Guess what was probably on that picture? They're guessing it was sharks. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, well, shit, this sucks. Let's do a sweep of the place. And so they pull out their EMF stuff. So I guess the investigation of what happened is just like done, that they've just decided, just get the body out of here, rope off the ball pit. It's fine. We're good.
We'll clean that later.
Don't worry about
just
it.
like they normally do.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. We're out of here. We have also been seeing throughout the episode a single working mother, Libby, and her little boy, Tyler. And they are at Plucky's quite a bit. The mom is having to work there, and she's just having to bring him with her because childcare is fucking expensive as all hell. And Tyler is slowly getting more and more and more frustrated throughout the episode that he's constantly having to come up here while his mom is working. So we are seeing that Tyler has been drawing pretty frequently a robot with like laser eyes. And we are also cutting back and forth between Sam and the clown fight throughout this episode. But I'm not going to talk about that as every time that it happened in the episode. So back at the hotel, Sam and Dean are trying to do their research. And so Sam was like, Tulpa eliminated that. That's not an option. That doesn't make sense. That's not viable. And then Sam was like, an angel? And Dean said, I don't think that they'd be creative, that this is creative for the God Squad or something like that. And I was like, aw, we haven't seen an angel in a while and no one's getting fingered anymore. It's been too long. Bring back my angels. When do they come back? Surely they come back.
I hope so.
So they are stuck. They're like, we don't know what the fuck is going on. Let's go interrogate everybody who works at Plucky's because something has to be going down at Plucky's. Let me tell you, Sam was real into his little part.
Yeah, he had to be the bad cop this time.
He was like, they already know me as a Fed. None of them up there have met you yet. So let me go in as the cop and you be undercover. And Dean was like, how the fuck am I supposed to do that? And he was like, just blend in. Just like this 30-year-old man by himself in Plucky's blending in. But Sam, he was getting real, throwing stuff and like slamming his hands on the counter. I was like, oh my, Officer Johnson, no.
He was enjoying himself.
Oh, he was into it. So they eliminate shift lead Jean. But we do find out that she had just recently been promoted and it was really competitive to get the job. So that's going to be important later. And then they interrogate the Heidi friend guy and they eliminate him. I don't know why they eliminated him, but they do. And then they talk to the guy who's been running around dressed like a lion. Well, it turns out...
Is that what it was?
Wasn't it?
Oh, I didn't pay attention. I thought it was a bear.
He had like a mane, I thought.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But they interrogate him. And while all this is happening, Dean is out there bonding with the little Tyler kid because we've seen how he is with, kids that remind him of his baby brother. So, of course, or remind him of his own childhood that it pulls at his little heartstring. He's telling the kid, like, you need to ease up on your mom. Like, she's doing the best she can. Cut her some slack.
I mean, plus, there are a ton of kids who would love to be up there every day.
Right.
Like you are.
Oh, it's also really important that he picks up the kid's pizza, takes a bite of it, spits it all out on his plate, and then gives the plate back to the kid.
Gross.
Like, here you go.
Disgusting.
You're welcome.
Keep it, buddy.
Mr. Lion Man apparently used to work at a meth lab with his brother, but it wasn't him, and he had the same fingerprints and just let me off the hook, whatever. He gets real...
Bajiggity.
Yeah. Whenever Sam's interrogating him and tries to book it, tries to run, but they catch him, and he ends up telling them what the janitor guy was probably going to tell them, which is that they used to sneak in to Plucky Pennywhistle's after hours and do shrooms in the ball pit. They would sneak in through, like, this sub-basement door, and that they would hear some weird shit going down back by the boiler. Well, then they're going back inside to kind of see what's going on, and they hear Tyler and his mom leaving, and they're making up. Tyler's being a better kid now, and he's trying to cut his mom some slack, which is good, but then Tyler's also complaining that his placemat where he was working on his latest robot design has gone missing, that it was right there, and now it's gone. And Dean is just like, shit. They were just fighting not too long ago, and now his picture has gone away. That's got to be the next victim. Mm-hmm. So he tells Sam, you go after them. I'm going to go check out the sub-basement area. And I thought it was funny whenever Sam was like, do you know what he was drawing? And he was like, yeah, a robot big as a house with laser eyes. And Sam was like, at least I'll see it coming. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
I don't know why I died at that. I died. So Dean goes down to the basement, and it turns out that it's Mr. Hi, friend, that guy. Mr. Too Friendly Guy. Should have known. He's been in the episode throughout the entire thing ever since he was the first guy Sam talked to when they showed up at Plucky Pennywhistle's. I'm disappointed in us for not guessing it sooner.
Yeah.
We guessed it whenever it was getting closer to the end, but we should have known. We really should have known. They didn't hide that very well. Well, I guess actually they did, because we didn't guess it until it was too late. He is upset because he did not get the promotion. But I tell you what, guys, like, it seems like he's been living here. There's like a cot there. He had all his old childhood pictures that he had drawn, or I don't know, maybe he drew them recently. Who knows? It's not really explained very thoroughly. And he has pictures of his family hung up on the wall, so I think he's living here. Yeah. And there's this weird fire pit thing in the middle. And then he has a book that we find out is a hoodoo book. And Dean even says that hoodoo couldn't have done this. And the only explanation we get is that fear is real powerful, guys. That's it. Fear is real powerful, y'all.
Yeah.
We also get the explanation that he doesn't just need the picture from the kid that the kid drew. He also needs to pull something off the parent that they owned. I almost made it.
I know.
All right. Now, where were we? Okay, so Dean is at Plucky Pennywhistle's. He did not get the giant slinky. I think I forgot to note that.
Yep.
He did not get the giant slinky. Are you going to get a giant slinky for babysitting?
I should.
You should.
I was there till like almost 1.
You should have got a Dean Winchester for all that effort. We stopped our recording and you rushed over there right away.
That's way better than a slinky.
Right? Okay, so yeah, Dean's at Plucky. Oh, no. This is already passed. They have seen the son and the mom having the fight and them making up, and the robot placemat is gone. And Dean sent Sam after them because he's like, that's going to be the next target. And Dean is in the basement that the lion guy told him about and has stumbled upon Mr. Hello Friend guy. That's where we're at. That's where we left off.
Okay.
Dean is confronting this Plucky Pennywhistle worker. I don't think we ever got a name, did we?
I'm sure there is, but I'm so bad about writing down the names.
I don't know. We'll just call him Plucky. So
Yeah.
Plucky is pissed because his little brother drowned. And he's saying it's his parents' fault, that he had shitty parents. It's always the parents' fault. And that's why he's doing this. And he's using hoodoo. And again, just with the power of fear, he's able to make it happen. So we don't really know. We don't really understand what's happening here. But whatever. That's fine. And I guess maybe he must have had something to do with his brother. And it's guilt that he's like turned into projecting onto parents or something.
Yeah.
Because granted, obviously that wasn't really his brother that comes back, but that little ghost boy looked really mad. Right? Like
He's pissed.
He looked furious. So I'm just like, okay, little Plucky, I can't help but think that you didn't have something to do with it and you've just rewritten history there in your brain. But anyway, so Plucky has told Dean somebody else is next in line. Ooh, I grabbed that your friend, little friend who was pretending to be the Fed, I grabbed his business card before he left. And oh yeah, I noticed it the second he walked in here, the way he was looking at every single little clown. I know what he's scared of. So poor Sam just pulled up to the kid in the mom's house to go keep an eye on them. And he's getting out of his car.
God.
And it is not the robot a size of a house with lasers coming out of its eyes that he needs to be on the lookout for. It's clowns. All these clowns jump him. So this is what we've been flashing back and forth from, is Sam fighting these fucking clowns.
He needs to have a better poker face.
Right? He immediately is terrified. Oh my God. I really do wish that I want to hear those sound effects from the clown fight again, because that was so funny. The little horns and honks and bings and all that stuff. Oh. So this is where we were at the beginning, and we're occasionally flashing forward to throughout the episode. And then the countdown clock, it did change to like right freaking now.
Yeah.
So Dean is with Plucky. Oh, his name's Howard. Howard, his name's not Plucky.
Oh, yeah.
So Dean is facing off with Howard, creepy guy, and he's just like, okay, I clearly don't need to know a whole lot about this hoodoo thing in order to just master this spell work right away.
Yeah.
I pulled this picture that you drew of your drowning brother, and I grabbed this little doll that you own because clearly you live here. All of your shit is here. And so Dean's just like, haha, I got it, throws it on the fire. And then, yeah, little ghost brother comes along and he makes Howard drown. Like he just starts choking up water.
Ugh.
I was like, geez.
That's pretty brutal.
It was really brutal. And like, I'm like sitting there being like, can you imagine standing there and just like feeling that water, filling your lungs, like while you're just standing there staring at your ghost brother? Like, what a way to go.
It's awful.
I mean, Howard did kind of like reap his own little thing, you know, like
True.
he was murdering people. I mean,
Yeah.
and possibly murdered his brother. As soon as Howard's clock stops, the clowns burst into a confetti of glitter all around Sam, who has been squirted with seltzer water. Sam says at the end that the clown sprayed him with seltzer from one of his flowers. It was a giant stream. Do you remember that?
Yes.
We were both like, where the fuck is that coming from? And I'm like, that giant stream of seltzer came from a little flower. So Sam was soaked, and so all the glitter is just like all over him, and he's just standing there like, what the fuck? The guys reunite in front of Plucky's, and Dean gets a good old chuckle whenever he sees Sam. What did he say? He looked like he had been attacked by PCP strippers or something.
No, I can't remember.
You can't remember. And Sam lets Dean just keep going. He's like, have at it, because I haven't seen you fucking smile and I can't remember how long.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take this. I'll take it. And I do like that Dean, he apologized to Sam. He was like, I'm sorry that I would ditch you here when we were kids.
Yeah. About time for that
was
apology.
sweet. Right? He was like, I'm sorry I traumatized you.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was ever explicitly said, but is this where Sam's fear of clowns came from? Was the Plucky Pennywhistles?
I would imagine, yeah.
Fear of abandonment mixed with the imagery of clowns or something, maybe?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to dig deeper into. Well, Sam tells Dean that they've earned a reward for what they've done on this case. And he goes to the car that he had drove up in and pulls out a giant Slinky. And Dean is thrilled. And he tells Sam, I got you something too. And throws a little clown doll at him.
I mean, come on.
He's like, what? It's exposure therapy. Like, you've faced your fears. You're over it, right? Didn't you just say you're over it? You're over your fear of clowns? I don't think Sam's over it because he left that doll in the dirt. Whenever they took off, they panned down and that doll is in the parking lot.
No.
Now, this says, as the credits roll, the doll winks at the camera. I did not see that.
I didn't either.
I didn't see the doll wink at the camera. So I missed that. But that's what the notes say. But anyway, that's the end of the episode for the most part. It was written by Andrew Dabb and Daniel Laughlin, and it was directed by Mike Roll. Now, gore, we did get a blood splooge, but it was minimal sploogage. It was mostly balls bouncing around.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything particularly gory other than, well, I guess the unicorn ramming that guy through.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't so much gory as that was a jump scare to me. Like, that was a really good jump scare. And that body at the beginning with the suction cup things on it.
Ooh, yeah.
We were both cringing at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for such a fantastical, magical episode with, like, all these characters coming to life, there was a little bit of gore. Did you adore anything about the episode?
Well, like we talked about, Sam, how cute Sam was in his fear.
Oh my God, he looked so cute. Those facial expressions were top notch.
Yeah. And I thought that they did a good job on that one. I mean, they were both scary, but that first clown, he was real creepy.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. Like I said, quite literally, my only complaint is I wish they had explained a little bit more what the fuck Howard was doing.
Yeah.
That seemed a little rushed to me. But I mean, I guess that whenever you're trying to stop the guy from killing people and you know that clowns are probably after your brother, that you're not going to spend too much time trying to figure out exactly what's going on. You've just figured out how to stop it, and so you do.
Yeah.
And there's only so much time in an episode, but
true.
They normally, I feel like these last two, whenever it got down to the nitty gritty of explaining a little bit more about the villain, it just felt a little short for me. Like the Amazons, like why are they doing this?
Yeah.
And then this one, like, okay, power of fear. Can you elaborate on that, Howard?
Right.
Like, that's it. That's all we're gonna get. So that's my only complaints, and that's just if I'm being nitpicky here. I thought this was a really cute, fun episode. I enjoyed.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, what about the lore?
Okay. Well, Plucky Pennywhistle is reminiscent of good old Chuck E. Cheese. So we're going to talk about all of the horrible things that happened at Chuck E. Cheese, according to Ranker. Now, I will say, just as a little warning, some of these deal with like violence, gun violence, assault. So if that's going to trigger anybody, just move on to our next episode.
Yeah. Skip ahead.
Yeah. So Chuck E. Cheese is supposed to be a family-friendly place where you take your kids and let them run around like maniacs while you eat pizza and sigh with the other parents who are too tired to speak. or like what's her name said for lazy parents, to just drop them off. But for some reason, some of the most insane things have happened at Mr. Cheese's restaurant. Most of the Chuck E. Cheese horror stories on this list sound like they're straight out of a Law and Order episode, but they're all true. You're going to think twice about taking the family out for pizza and skee ball after reading about these horrible things that happened at Chuck E. Cheese's. If there is any lesson to be learned from this list, true and terrible things that happened at Chuck E. Cheese, it's that you should keep your eye on your kids and never trust cartoon mice, no matter how cute they may be.
Noted.
All right. So number one, there was a massive brawl breaks out in Connecticut. After being told to tone it down by a manager, a 12-person brawl broke out after two women bumped into each other.
Oh my God.
No children were injured in the incident, and police have not made any arrests. Real good example, guys.
I have some aggression I really need to work out. Let me run up to the local Chuck E. Cheese real quick.
Yeah. Oh my
Jesus.
God. Then number 2, fist fight breaks out over a stolen cell phone. While visiting Chuck E. Cheese's with 2 children, Wanda Jackson attempted to steal another woman's phone and got into a fight over the piece of tech. The police report says the victim spit in Jackson's face, and that's when things got hairy.
Oh my
Jackson was charged with 3rd-degree assault.
Oh my God.
I mean, don't steal a cell phone.
Right.
Number 3, man picks up the wrong child after eating pizza. It was bound to happen at least once, and in January 2016, a man literally picked up the wrong kid from Chuck E. Cheese's and almost walked away with him before realizing that he was holding the wrong child's hand. I bet that's happened probably a lot.
I bet it has too. I remember in school pickup that I went and got in the wrong car once.
Oh, God.
And like I had my seatbelt buckled and everything before I looked over and just saw this stranger just staring at me. They didn't say anything. They didn't say wrong car. Like they literally just sat there and watched until I figured it out myself. And then I got back. And then I was like, sorry, and got out of the car.
Oh my God, that's scary.
Oopsie.
All right. Well, number 4, skee ball fight ends with assault charges. Lots of assaults.
Right?
After a grown woman pushed a 2-year-old who was playing skee ball, the other 2-year-old's mother decided to make things real and get into a fist fight with the other woman. The woman fell into the skee ball machine and had to be broken up by the Chuck E. Cheese's staff. People get real aggressive here.
Yeah.
Number 5, things don't go well for knife-wielding man in Chuck E. Cheese's.
What?
If anything, the story of a man who tried to bring a knife into a children's restaurant and ended up catching a beatdown from the local sheriff should serve as a fable for all those unhinged guys who think they'll be the one person who sneaks a knife into a children's birthday party.
Like, why?
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
Why
I do not know.
Necessary. It doesn't say. Okay.
This is a lovely one.
Oh, okay.
Number 6, 2 men arrested for smoking heroin in Chuck E. Cheese's bathroom.
They were the guys talking about doing drugs in the Plucky Pennywhistle.
I know. It says maybe these 2 guys didn't realize that Chuck E. Cheese's has skee ball, but in 2014, Colin Zabrowski and Daniel Lubach were busted for smoking heroin in the bathroom of a Costa Mesa, California location. A Chuck E. Cheese's spokesperson told the press, "We cannot begin to express the combination of sorrow and anger we feel about adults engaging in this type of behavior in a children's establishment." Like, of all places, guys.
To go. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Was the Walmart bathroom like not up to your standards?
Right. Well, number 7, a man was charged with a shooting at a birthday party.
Oh, wow.
In 2015, Arion D'Amico Ford brought a gun to a 1-year-old girl's birthday party and shot at 4 people. One of them, the girl's grandfather, was struck 3 times but made a full recovery. When Ford was caught, he was charged with 4 counts of first-degree assault and 4 counts of armed criminal action.
Damn.
I know. How traumatizing for those kids.
Children, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then parents lose daughter at birthday party. In 2012, 2 parents suffered one of the biggest scares of their life when they saw their daughter reported missing on the news. The girl, Harmony, arrived at the pizzeria with 4 adults and 10 children, but stayed inside after everyone left. She was released into custody of her mother almost immediately after the news report aired. I don't even know how that went down.
I remember, it's sad how many of these stories are reminding me of something that happened to myself. I remember we were on a road trip once. My mom wasn't in the same car as me. And my friend and I, we had just kept climbing like into the very, very back of like this Suburban and hiding and then being like, oh, here we are, whenever they were worried about us. And we had stopped at a gas station and I went into the bathroom and everybody got in the car and they left before I got out.
Uh-oh.
And so then I came out of the bathroom and I looked around and this was pre-cell phones and all this other stuff. So I'm like looking around just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And I mean, it only took them like 5 minutes before they were like saying for me to get up out of the back and my little friend to be like, she's not back there. She's not in the car before they turned around. But I mean, I was sitting outside on the curb just being like, I don't know what to do for like 10 minutes
Aww.
before they came back and got me.
Well, thank goodness they realized that fast. God.
I know. I was lucky. They realized quickly. You know, they weren't reporting me missing on the local news before they figured it out and just came and picked me back up.
Oh my God. I feel like you narrowly missed being kidnapped a lot.
Oh no, yeah. Like literally
I know.
that happened to me a few times. Yeah, I know. They don't expect me to be so loud.
That's true.
And then they give up. Yeah.
No.
No, that's literally what saved me. The few times that like somebody really has tried to snatch me, it's because I got loud.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then there was one who actually picked me up and was like carrying me from behind, and I was kicking and screaming. They dropped me and ran away. And
Jesus.
the other guy was trying to tell me to get in the car that my parents told him to come pick me up, and I started screaming, and he took off, like peeled out, drove away. Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. This is a weapon.
Oh, I know.
This thing I got here. I need to learn how to control it better. I will say that.
You've gotten pretty good.
I've gotten okay.
Well, okay, back to our list.
Back to our list.
Number 9, a suspicious man caught taking photos of children.
Oh.
In Indiana, Chuck E. Cheese's employees were on it when they caught a suspicious-looking fellow taking pictures of children. When police arrived on the scene, the suspect tried to run away but was tackled down by at least a dozen cops.
Good.
What a creep. All right, number 10, man uses children to help snatch purses.
Oh.
Lovely.
Oh my God.
KOMO News in Seattle reported that Charles W. Elias, a man from Olympia, Washington, used 3 children aged 7, 8, and 10 to help him steal 15 to 20 purses. Elias was later arrested in connection with the theft, but police haven't released how he knew the children. Weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
And awful. Chuck E. Cheese's leads U.S. and mouse-based pizzeria child labor law violations. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, the San Francisco franchises of Chuck E. Cheese's have been fined at least $28,000 for allowing 16 young workers to operate on-site trash compactors and allowing 2 minors to run a dough mixing machine illegally. I bet the kids were happy to have a job, though, you know?
Oh my God. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, so were they too young to be employed there? Or was it just that at that age, like whenever you can't serve alcohol until you're a certain age, but you can work there before that age? Like, I wonder if it was something like that. Like they were legally employed, but they were just doing stuff they weren't supposed to do.
I bet that's probably it, yeah.
Yeah, let's hope so. We'll give Chuck E. Cheese the benefit
give you
of the
that
doubt
one.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Cheese gropes a mom.
Oh my God.
Next one. In 2009, the children's pizzeria came under fire when one of the employees who was dressed as the restaurant's mascot, the titular Mr. Cheese, groped a mother who was in the restaurant with her child. He looked at her, reached out, grabbed her breast, and moved along,
Oh my God.
said the mother's attorney. Her jaw dropped in shock and disgust.
That is insane.
I mean,
a
what were
guy
you
did
thinking?
that. A guy did that to me once, but we were in Deep Ellum, like not Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
not excusing it. It was still
Sure.
assault, and it still made me very uncomfortable. But yeah,
Just not around children.
Yeah, I can't imagine it being in a children's restaurant by a man dressed as like a furry or whatever they are.
Yeah. All right. Next, we have Chuck E. Cheese flips off camera while hanging with 4-year-old boy.
Oh.
In 2011, an employee at New Mexico franchise of the children's restaurant who dressed as Chuck E. Cheese posed for a photo with a 4-year-old boy and flipped off the camera. Obviously, the kid's family was less than thrilled. His mother said, "I was mad. I still am. This is his 4th birthday picture and it's ruined. That was no way to treat a child."
I bet you that child thinks that picture is fucking hilarious now.
Now, yeah. But like, guys, what are you thinking dressed up as Chuck E. Cheese doing these things? Like, come on. All right. Former employee explains how the ball pit is cleaned.
Oh, God.
During a Reddit AMA, a former Chuck E. Cheese employee explained how his manager cleaned the ball pit. Don't ever let your kids, if you have them, play in ball pits. They're rarely cleaned. When we did clean them, we put them in my boss's pickup truck in netted bags. Then we just went through a car wash.
You know what? That would have been a lot safer than that ball washer thing that guy was using
Right?
to vacuum up all the balls.
I mean, also, pretty clever way to go do it.
I was about to say, is that really that gross? I mean, I wish you were doing it more frequently, but I'm not like dissing the methodology here,
Me
just
either,
the frequency, you know? Like,
Yeah. All right. Well, last but not least, baby mama drama turns into a giant brawl. Surprise, surprise, another brawl.
A Chuck E. Cheese in suburban Pittsburgh turned into Thunderdome when a fight involving as many as 50 people broke out. It appeared to have started outside the restaurant when the father of a young boy got into an argument with his girlfriend. The girlfriend then went back inside and started arguing with the boy's mother. Someone apparently threw a punch and a massive brawl started. Police from all over the area came in to break up the fight, and one woman was arrested.
Damn. Something strange is afoot at the Chuck E. Cheese, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, well, damn. Quote to close it out was whenever they're talking about how Mr. Janitor, not the janitor, but this janitor died whenever they were at the Plucky Pennywhistles. Sam said, yeah, they think the ball washer did it.
Dean says, the what?
Sam says, the ball washer.
And Dean says, the what?
And Sam goes, the ball, and then stops himself. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening to Denim-Wrapped Nightmares.
Follow us on Twitter or Instagram, leave a review, and let us know how we can get involved in the fandom.
This was fun. Jerk.
It always is, bitch.